Hi crafty friends! Welcome to the Crafty Corner. I'm Audra Monk, the Crafty Yogi, and today we are going to make this really pretty mountain scene card. This card, and it's pretty much an exact copy, but I'm just going to share with you how I made it from, I think it was a Canadian demo, and her name is Linda Dalkey. So you could definitely Google her and go check out her video. But she taught me a lot about working from a picture. So I'm just going to use my card as the picture, but you could find a landscape picture and just kind of make things happen from there. But I'm going to use my card. So some supplies you need to do this with me. You need a piece of watercolor paper at 5 times 3 3/4. Okay, to make the card, I just kept this like a note card. The black piece is 5 1/4 times 4, and this is a piece of smoky slate, cut in half. So what is that? 8 1/2 times 5 1/2, right? So you need that. Okay, so you need your watercolor paper. And all of this is available in the Stampin'Up catalog, or contact me and I will hook you up. You need some washi tape. You can buy new washi tape, but if you're like me and you buy lots of washi tape, you end up, these are like almost done rolls. So I'm going to use those. You need some colors. Okay, so today we're going to go Pool Party, Smoky Slate, Wisteria Wonder, Night of Navy. We'll need Soft Sky just for a little. And then some Memento Black. Okay. You need, did I lose it? Here we go. You need your Waterfront stamp set. 17 bucks. Photopolymer. Super great. And then you'll need lots of blocks because there are lots of stamps. So you need your stamp set. Okay, anything else? What else? Oh, you need an E-block because we're going to use this. And so in that case, I'm going to get out a paper towel to start first. Am I going to get, no, I'm not going to get on paper towel. Well, I will to dry it off. Okay, so we're going to get started. Take your piece of waterfront paper, watercolor paper, and I'm putting it on our silicone mat. And then I am going to tape it because I'm pretty sure it was Linda that did it this way, that she made a frame. So that's what's going to give me that little cream frame. And I'm just going to put the wide tape about halfway. Oh, and that's awesome. The polka dots tell me where to have it go. Okay. And I'm going to do that around all of the sides to tape it down. Oh, that's so cool. So just put 2 rows of dots if you're using dotted tape. Oh, I should have made that a little bit longer, but that's okay. I'll make sure this piece goes. Oh, good. I had enough. Okay. So that's my frame, and that's going to help hold it down. And then I am going to peel that up super careful at the end. Okay, so we are going to get started. And how this one starts is we are going to take our E-block, and it's nice and clean. You want to get it clean. And I'm going to use my Soft Sky ink pad. I forgot my Soft Sky jams. And I'm going to ink up my block. Okay. And then you need a spritzer, Stampin' Spritzer. I'm going to turn away from the camera to get this wet. Make sure you're spraying the nozzle the right way. Okay, so I'm going to spritz that. And I almost forgot. There's one more step before I start. Take your aqua painter. You would need aqua painters for a watercolor. Get it wet. Okay, make sure there's no... Okay. And then I am going to just swab this all on here. Yeah, so I have a wet base to start. So... I always wish I could be an artist. I also wish I could be a singer and a dancer, but alas, the fates are not there for any of that. But I am a yoga teacher, and I get to get crafty. So I think this is super fun because it really lets you feel like you have done some crafty, painting. So in my sample, the sky is the top kind of 2/3, slightly below half. So I'm going to take my wet block, turn it over, and I'm going to stamp that slightly above half and push it down. And then I'm going to take it off. Okay, so now I've got this sky, and it's pretty wet looking. Let me get rid of my block. Hi, I'm getting a collection of wet blocks down there. I should probably clean that up. Okay, so I am going to dab it a little bit with my paper towel because I just want it nice and blotchy. And I'll definitely wipe the part that's on the silicone because I will get it all over myself. There we go. Isn't that pretty? Let me lift it up a little bit. See how it gets the blotchy and it looks a little, you know, little sky-like. Okay, next up is I'm going to stamp the horizon. And this, I think it's called the horizon. We are going to stamp it in Night of Navy. So the horizon is this piece that kind of looks like a paintbrush piece, like you drew it. And I'm going to stamp it full strength about at the base of my sky. And then I have to stamp it on the other part. And I'm going to do the fat part. So I'm going to flip it over. Okay, so there's my horizon. My aqua painter, make sure it's clean. It should be. And now I'm going to just lightly take away the Stampin' lines. And so someone's going to think I painted it. And I didn't. I used a Stampin' Up stamp. Oh, isn't it? I love Night of Navy when you stamp it and then you watercolor it. I think it's so pretty. Okay, next up, I am going to use the mountain piece. Okay, and I'm going to stamp, let me bring it back in so you can see. I'm going to stamp these mountains in the front. And I'm going to start with Night of Navy. And I'm going to stamp, and I want this to touch my land. And I'm going to stamp it again. Good. Okay, and then I'm going to stamp on the other side. And I'm going to take that up. And so the stamp, you can turn it, which was really cool. You can use, the stamp is like your paintbrush, right? So you can use it in any way you want, depending on how high you want to get this mountain. I actually want the mountain to come over more. Ooh, I'm kind of liking that a lot. Okay, and then, now I'm going gentle on the aqua painter because I want to build this all in one set. If you really want a watercolor look, you might have to let it dry in between. Okay, so I'm getting the blues, and I'm going to do this blue. So it's a nice, rich, so I guess this would be like at dusk maybe, this nice little shadows here. Or, you know, maybe late afternoon. Okay, and I'm going to let that dry. Wipe off my aqua painter. So the way you clean your aqua painter is either on your grid paper or your paper towel. You just lightly wipe it until it comes clear. Okay, so next up, there are some mountains in the background. Okay. Oh, yeah, because I want to let that dry. Yes, mountains in the background. So those are going to be in Wisteria Wonder. Let me stamp off my set. So a cool thing about photopolymer, you can stamp it off a little bit, or you can clean it. And let me see what it looks like stamped off. You know, I'm going to clean it just because, so have your Stampin' Scrub somewhere nearby. I'm going to clean it because I'm going from a dark color to a light. If I'm going in the reverse, I would probably just stamp it a little and carry on. Okay, so it's nice and clean. All right, so first I'm going to stamp some over on this left side. So it's kind of like the second row of mountains. Let's see what it looks like. Ooh, I like it. Okay, and then I'm going to stamp it and stamp it off once because I want that really far mountain peak right there in the middle. And so I'm going to stamp that right in the middle. And there we go. Okay, so my aqua painter comes in, and I'm going to give it a little bit of water. And then I'm going to clean it and give it a little water in the middle. Okay, cool. All right, so now these mountains are really dark. I could leave them like this because I do have kind of a blue-black thing going, but I'm going to go ahead and add the black. Do I need purple again? I don't know. Let's take that away. Okay, so we have some black, and I'm going to actually ink it in the black. Okay, so I'm going to ink that, and I'm going to put one here. Good. And then I'm going to come here. So I'm really giving more depth and more color to my mountain by adding the black. Good. I like it. Okay, I'm going to put the lid on that. If I have the ink pads close, I tend to get in trouble. And I'm going to give that a little bit of color, or a little bit of water. All right, so my mountain is gonna sit there and dry a little bit. And I'm gonna work on my water. Okay, so I got my water strip again. I did think this was really cool. I may not have thought of this. She left a little bit of the paper color in the middle to kind of define the base of the mountain. So that's kind of like maybe like the shore, and then the lake starts. So let's stamp that. So we're gonna leave just a little line. And you got to decide which end looks right for you. So I'm going to try to leave a little bit of white. Okay. Same thing here, maybe a little bit less, a little bit of white. All right, and then with my aqua painter, I'm going to color that in. I just noticed this looks like a gold frame around my picture. It's pretty cute. Okay, so I'm going to color that in. Maybe spread it up just a little bit more. My line might be a hair too big. And you don't want it to be a straight line, right? You want it to look a little more natural. Okay. Next up, we're going to do that water, the highlight of the water in the middle. Okay, so that is done in Pool Party. And it's done with so we've used the mountain piece, we've used the line piece. Now we're going to use kind of the water or the sky piece. Okay, so I'm going to ink that up in Pool Party. And I am going to stamp that, so the idea is it's kind of like a valley to me, and then the water is coming through. And I'm going to stamp that right there in Pool Party. There we go. And then with my aqua painter, I'm going to make sure it's clean. Let's make that a little more watery looking. There we go. So we color it in. And as you may notice, or if you watched any of my other videos, especially on these waterfront cards, I think they look slightly different every time, even if you're making the same one. Okay, and then with that same piece, which I'm just going to stamp it off a little bit, I'm going to do the reflection. See the reflection of my mountain in the water. So I'm going to use this piece, though, and my Night of Navy. Sticking. Okay, and I turn the piece upside down, and oops, and let's move that out of the way. And it's going to fill in the space. Good. And some more Night of Navy, and I'm going to put it on this side. Okay. Aqua painter. How could you? There we go. And I'm going to aqua painter that in. So that's my mountain reflection in my water. And now I like it like that. Okay. So there we go. Oh, let's get it all the way in here. So we've got our water. We've got our sky. Okay, so now we're going to let the water dry, and we're going to go back and work on the sky, and then we'll come back and do the trees, which I made this slightly smaller, so we might not get a lot of trees. Okay, so now we're going to do the sky. We don't need any more Night of Navy. Let's close that up. So in my sky, I am going to go with my smoky slate. And you can do any colors. You can find pictures, on Pinterest, or that you took maybe when you were out somewhere. It's really cool if you do this from one of your own pictures, I think. I think that's super awesome. Okay, make sure I got that down really well. Any extras away. Okay, so smoky slate, and I need, okay, so this piece, and that's going to be my clouds or sky. So I'm going to stamp it in the smoky slate, and then I'm going to stamp off, because I want that to be softer. And I'm going to put some clouds up there. Still kind of dark. Stamp off, and clouds. One more. Okay, and then I'm going to do a little bit of those in Pool Party, like maybe a reverse reflection, the water kind of reflecting in the sky. And I'm going to stamp off and put that just right at the top. Okay, yay. Okay, so now I'm going to use my aqua painter. So I am going to remember I did the smoky slate first. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to blend that in, because I want soft clouds. Maybe this is a mountain before a storm almost, or maybe after a storm. Mountain scene, and I'm going to get those clouds soft. So I'm just kind of washing out the lines of the stamp so it looks a little more like I painted it. Okay, then I'm going to clean it because I'm going to do that to the pool party one too. All right, and the pool party. There we go. Okay, so now we have a sky. Let's feel how wet my land is. Okay, I'm going to give the land just a little hit of the heat gun so we can do the trees, and then we'll be done. Isn't it pretty? It looks like a picture or a painting. It's kind of fun how stamps and water and ink can just, you know, make you feel a little bit like an artist. I might send this to my brother. I think he might like that. Okay, so it's dry. Oops. I pushed the button the wrong way. Okay, so now last step is our trees. And our trees, like in this picture, I'm going to stamp them in the black. Okay, but I'm going to let them come up a little bit more, especially because I think I made my, what do you call it, my horizon line, a little low. So I'm going to ink up my trees, and I'm going to start here and kind of just, I'm going to make it a little bit more of a bowl of trees. So just a little bit higher showing here. And I am going to overlap them so it's pretty, gets pretty dense. Ooh, they look so pretty. Okay, and then I'm going to start to, I'm going to do them in the, it's harder for them to show up in that blue, right? I'm going to do those a little bit darker, and I don't want to see the little stems, right? If I'm wanting this to look like I'm kind of looking down and I'm seeing a whole bowl of trees. I'm going to do more. I'm going to even bring them up this way a little bit. Oh, I just inked that and I don't think I need it. Okay, and then I have to decide. I think I like them like this. I'm not going to add any watercolor to them. Okay, I'm still a bit damp, but I'm going to show you how to take this off, and then we'll be done. So I am going to wipe it, because, you know, I have ink all on the tape. So I'm going to wipe that off. Okay, now this is washi tape, and I mean, it could stick, and it might rip my paper a little, but then I'll come up with a good way to work around that. So I'm going to take it off nice and slow. And I did pretty good. See how I have that nice line? It's kind of like painting. Okay, and then I'm going to take it off slow at the top. And down the side. Ooh, I'm losing a piece. Okay, so I'm going to come up from the bottom. Let me do this piece. And that might happen, and you know, you're going to embellish. You know, maybe I'll decide I do want a greeting on this card. Oh my goodness, but I'm still so pleased. Okay, take your time. Okay, I can work with that. I am happy. And there's my tape, and there you go. A little waterfront scene. And then all I'm going to do is mount it on the black, mount it on the card, and I might put something there. We'll see. Or I'm going to put a little glue there, and there you go. Thank you so much for stopping by. Have fun making your waterfront watercolor cards. If you, the supplies will be listed in the blog post. So if you're seeing this on YouTube, go find, I'll put the link, click on the blog post and go there, and it will give basic list of supplies so you can get them. And if you need help, contact me and I will help you. Thank you so very much, and stay crafty.